Hey there guys, Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back. My channel. Thanks for tuning in if you're watching this. I hope you make it all the way through the video. I don't want to bore you too much. But anyways guys, today I got some new releases. This is kind of part 2 of some new releases I've gone through and watched. Just basically stuff I've revisited also and things like that. Stuff that doesn't really fit into any kind of box. So just some new stuff. So I thought I'd get right to that. And pick this up. This is a UK release of one of my favorite Arnie movies of all time. I think I may have shown this, but I rewatched it again and I do recommend it. It looks really great. This is a great Blu-ray release from 20th Century Fox. I'm not sure when this came out. Directed by Mark Lester. This is Commando, director's cut. And it's got 2 different cuts of the film. You got the theatrical and the director's cut, which I thought was good. And it looked really good. I really enjoyed this. So, Commando. Now this really impressed me the way it looked. For my Paul Verhoeven episode, I had got a copy of this movie and I had trouble with it playing in my Blu-ray player for some reason. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm kind of glad that happened because it gave me the chance to find this better version on Blu-ray. Now this is also a UK release from Studio Canal, and it says it's a brand new restoration, and I think you can tell because it looks great. Basic Instinct. The synonymous, infamous movie from, what was it, 92? 92, 93, something like that, with Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone, directed by Paul Verhoeven. What can I say about it? Controversy, infamous, stuff like that. But what it boils down to is a good film noir, actually. It's kind of a modern day neo-noir. It's kind of like tracking down killers, investigations. You got Sharon Stone is one of the ultimate femme fatales in this movie, I think. And Studio Canal's done a really good restoration on this Blu-ray. And the one I got's got the blue, it's got the slipcase. So I'm not sure if this is available in America, this particular restoration, but this is a region locked. It's region B, so it can only play in a multi-region player because this is a UK edition. So anyways, Basic Instinct, I won't go into that too much because you know, pretty much everybody knows about it. Next up, now this was something this is one of my favorite Jack Nicholson performances. I got this off the shelf the other day to watch because I was scratching my head thinking, do I have that on Blu-ray? And sure enough, I do. And thank God for my movie app that I have on my phone to search stuff. If not, I would probably buy stuff multiple times because I have so many movies, it's hard to keep up with them all. But The Last Detail, directed by Hal Ashby from 1973. One of my favorite Jack Nicholson performances of all time. Really good. This is an indicator release. It's got some great extras on this. This is all region, or A, B, and C region. So you can definitely watch it without a all region player. But man, this is great. It's even got the edited television copy of the movie on here, which is very funny to watch because the movie's famous for Jack Nicholson blurting out the F word. Like, I don't know if it was like 60 sometimes in the movie or something, but a lot of famous set pieces, a lot of stuff in there. Briefly, Jack Nicholson is in it. Randy Quaid, Otis Young, really good as the second Navy officer escorting Randy Quaid to jail. It's got Clifton James, Carol Kane. Screenplay by Robert Towne, so it's got a lot of good pedigree going for it. So there you go, The Last Detail. And this was a new, to me, release. I found this. This is actually an MGM UA Australian release. This was released in Australia. And this is a movie from 1971. starring George Segal, Karen Black, and Paula Prentice, whatever. Born to Win, and this is a movie that's kind of hard to find. I'm not sure if it's on Blu-ray, and if it is, it's out of print or something. So I ended up finding this copy of it, and it's really cool. George Segal basically is a man, a guy that's let addiction get the best of him. Hush. My dogs, I'm sorry. Anyways, addiction has got the best of George Segal, and he basically spends his days and nights finding the next score, the next thing. He meets Karen Black, who kind of tries to get his life cleaned up for him and on track, and he falls in love with her. But he ultimately gives in to drugs again, and it's very interesting. Sorry guys, the dogs went nuts. Somebody was at the door, so I thought I'd leave that in there. But anyways, Born to Win, pretty good movie. Really good performance by George Segal. I mean, he did a lot of good movies in the 70s. Pretty hot during the beginnings to the mid 70s. He did a lot of good stuff working with Robert Altman and other people, and he's highly underrated, I think. He's not as memorable nowadays. Growing up in the 80s, I've seen him in many movies and stuff and everything, but Karen Black, pretty cool and good in her performance. She kind of plays it more, I mean, she's very understanding of George Segal's plight that he's going through and everything, which is pretty cool dynamic between them. So pretty cool movie. So if you can find this, I highly recommend it. Born to Win, which in the movie, Born to Win comes from a tattoo that he has on his arm. It says Born to Win, so that's kind of where that's from. Next up, this was a movie featured in a James Garner spotlight video that I made. But I kind of wanted to rewatch it and stuff. I think I had just got it and everything, and I had a chance to watch this. This is a Warner Archive Collection DVD of Marlowe, and it was really good. I mean, it's 1969, and he's investigating this murder, or he's looking for, it's kind of a different blend of, I mean, it's based on the novel by Raymond Chandler, screenplay by Sterling Silliphant, and it has Rita Moreno, Carol O'Connor, Gail Honeycutt, and William Daniels in this, and it's pretty cool. It's I started watching it, and I couldn't remember if I've ever seen it before. I thought it was new to me, but then towards the end of it, I remembered it. I must have caught it on TV one night and everything. But basically, you got the woman that comes to Marlowe, needs help finding her brother, starts investigating it, he gets tied up and stuff. You know, it's a basic, Philip Marlowe story. But James Garner is really good as this detective. I mean, he's not Humphrey Bogart, and he's not, but he's really good in it. I mean, James Garner, I mean, you could see where after this movie he would do the Rockford Files, as and everything. So really good. So this is James Garner at his peak, the end of the 60s, where he had so many memorable movies and stuff he did and everything. But really highly recommend it, especially if you're into film noir or detective stories or a good mystery. It's a really good movie. Now, next up, a few months ago, it was last year, I think, and it was a big announcement from, was it Synapse or was it Vinegar Syndrome? One of those labels released a 4K edition of this movie, and it was a big to-do, and there was different copies, and it sold out, and blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, but I didn't want to buy that brand new copy without seeing this first, because I heard different things about it. So I picked up the old DVD Synapse Films edition of Thriller, A Cruel Picture, which is what can I say? This movie has all kinds of stuff in it. I mean, it's pretty controversial. A lot of nudity. There's a couple really hardcore sex scenes in it. It's pretty violent, everything. But man, it's a crazy movie, and I'm kind of glad. And maybe it's just not my cup of tea. But I mean, I'm not saying it's horrible, but I found it to be just okay, you know. I thought the image of the girl with the eye patch and the shotgun was kind of cool. It's kind of iconic looking. But the movie overall, I don't know, it's just kind of a mixed bag. I mean, some people really enjoy this movie, but I mean, it even has a special, little announcement here. This film contains scenes of explicit sexual content, nudity, graphic violence, drug addiction. It's for persons 18 years of age or older. I mean, to make a little blurb on the case like that and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of controversial, but it's not anything different than what we see nowadays. It's just a little bit more, but not quite. But at this time when this came out, this must have been like mind blowing or something. I'm trying to see when it came out. 1970 something, 72, 73, I want to say, or 74. But this edition came out in 2004, so this is an older edition. This is the limited edition one, and then there's another Synapse DVD that it's more of an edited one, or it's got 2 copies of the movie or something like that. But anyways, interesting. Maybe I need to watch it a couple more times, because I did just watch it once, so maybe I need to watch it again when I'm in the right mood, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, Thriller. Next up, this was a movie that I had never seen, but and I always knew, the name always kind of stayed with me. This was directed by John Dahl, who made some really good neo-noirs in the 90s. This is Rounders, starring Edward Norton and Matt Damon. This came out around 98, 99, somewhere in there, I believe. It's got a pretty cool case with the back of a card box there, because it's about gambling. Edward Norton's got a real bad gambling problem. He just got out of jail. Matt Damon had a bad addiction to gambling, and he kind of put it away, and he was living his life and everything. But when Edward Norton gets out of prison, it kind of sparks all that again and stuff. So it's a lot about addiction, but in the gambling area, and pretty cool. I mean, this was highly rated at the time, 2 thumbs up. I guess Siskel and Roper, or it's got a lot of cool stuff on here. It's got a lot of extras and stuff, and just one of those memorable movies you would see, in the 90s and everything. But yeah, pretty cool. The Rounders, not to be confused with The Rounders, that starred Glenn Ford and Henry Fonda. So anyways, Rounders. Now this is a newer movie. This is the last one, by the way, guys. Picked this up. This was a pretty weird movie, but pretty entertaining. Pretty good cast in it and stuff. This is a movie called Barbarians. It's pretty new to me. This is just the DVD, and it's got a slipcase and stuff, but I thought it was pretty cool. This was released through IFC Midnight, directed by Charles Dorfman. It's got a newer cast. You got Catalina Sandino Moreno. I'm not even going to try to read that. All the words look kind of stuck together and stuff. So anyways, Barbarians, pretty interesting movie. I mean, if you're looking for something, maybe a light horror, something like that, it's pretty cool. But yeah, pretty cool. I think I'm going to rewatch this again pretty soon. So Barbarians. So there you go, guys. There's some newer releases, some newer movies that I've watched recently, and recommend those. The one I really want to recommend through here, if you haven't if you haven't seen this or picked it up yet, try to get your hands on the Basic Instinct Studio Canal restoration. It looks really good. And overall, how can I not recommend The Last Detail? Great movie. So don't forget to comment and like and subscribe, even if you haven't already subscribed. Until next time, guys, I am Mike. It's back to the movie pile I go, and I will see you guys later.